Welcome. We bid you welcome, John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad, coming to you from my music corner of the world. I hope everybody has recovered from the Christmas holiday or whatever it is that you all choose to celebrate. But as this is past the Christmas day, I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas time. I can't believe I just said that. I can't even stand the song. Anyway, my faithful co-captain, my fellow man that we are going to share the kill with, maybe cure the sane, and I don't know, my fellow monster man who's heard it all from the writings on the wall. I don't know, John the Music Nut. How you doing, my friend?
That reminds me, this album has a lot of songs that are like accept song titles or accept song lyrics. But
Hmm,
I keep living the lie, and it's better to die on your feet than on your knees.
that's right.
How are you, my brother?
Well,
Merry Christmas.
that's right. Merry Christmas, my brother.
A little late,
But
but
hey, we made up for it, although on that Christmas Essential show, though, didn't we?
yes, we did. And please, everyone, check it out. I mean,
Yes.
that was a lot of fun. I was wondering how it was going to go because we didn't really talk about. Well, I told John a few things early on, but I didn't go into depth. But wow, that went into some wonderful directions.
Yep.
And Carson Brothers, you guys rock. Love
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah, we do. We certainly do. So, and we are looking forward to doing some more stuff all together. So
Oh yeah,
watch this space.
that's right.
But today we're still in Dangerous Toys December with this lovely little piece of CD here called The Artist, formerly known as Dangerous Toys, with this lovely little Tommy Pond's illustration here, mock kind of parodying the Prince Love Sexy album. So dangerous. So the artist formerly known as Dangerous Toys. So they were considering changing their name after Mike Watson leaves the band. Michael Hannon from Salty Dog filled in doing some touring, probably just a lot of club dates, a lot of little stuff. And then after the tour was done, he would go back to Salty Dog and kind of do his own thing. Which then we get Jason McMaster himself taking over the bass duties. Now he would also he's not unfamiliar to the bass. I believe his first band Watchtower, I believe he was the bass player for it. So he was a bass player also by trade. Um, but this album, produced by Tom Fletcher, recorded in Austin, Texas. So they're in their backyard this time, again for the DMC label. Released on October 17th, 1995. And I can see why they call this album The Artist, formerly known as Dangerous Toys. This album sounds nothing, nothing like the
That's
first
right.
three albums. Total change of musical direction here. And let's see. So, you know, unfortunately, this album tanked very quickly.
Oh yeah.
This didn't do anything on the charts. Didn't hit the Billboard 200, and I don't think even didn't even do as good as Pissed. I think so. It really went downhill. Um, a long CD, about 55 minutes here.
Yeah.
But it definitely shows a lot of the signs of the times. You
No
have
doubts.
signs, you have sounds of grunge, you have sounds of alternative, you have bits of thrash, you have industrial, you have a little bit of everything kind of hodgepodged into this thing. But I'll tell you what, 1995, 1996, I will admit I was grooving on half of this album a lot. For whatever reason, the other half I don't have a lot of memories listening to. Maybe again, it's because it's so long and I wasn't taking enough trips where I could hear the whole thing. But there were certain songs I know for me personally, I was grooving on this hard. And I want to see if John picks up on something throughout the songs here in the musical part of it. So and that I'll probably maybe alluding to here. But with that said, let's go and share the kill with this one. Let's talk about it, John. Go for it.
So I think we're brothers from a different mother on this album. After
Oh
what you
boy.
just said, after what you just said, I'm like, yep, that's exactly how I feel about this.
Hmm.
Okay, we got Jason vocals and bass, Scott Dalhover on guitar, Paul Liddell on guitar, Mark Geary on drums. This album is best appreciated by pretend. Don't think of it as a Dangerous Toys album, and then you'll appreciate it more. You had a lot of bands at this point trying to change up their sound to sound modern or try something different, like Dawkins, Shadow Life, Scorpions, Eye to Eye. This is here, this is got that feel. As John alluded to, it's let's throw a bunch of things at the wall and let's see what sticks. And another part of me thinks when I listen to this album, is this their, well, we could make an album like the music industry is putting all the money into that those kind of bands, but we could do this too. Or is this like a, yeah, like is this an FU to the industry even? But yes, as John alluded to, this does not sound like the first three albums at all. At all. But there are good songs. And here we go. Share to Kill. Industrial. Distorted vocals. Sounds like Filter to me. A band I like.
Hmm.
Filter were cool.
And Filter is a band that we got to see together, just
Yes,
didn't
we
know it at
did.
the time, with opening for Ozzy.
That's right. And was Prong on that bill too?
Yes, they were.
Oh yeah. Oh, Prong and Voivod are touring next year. Just to let y'all know out there. I'll be there. They're playing at the Sherman Theater. So
Ah,
in
okay.
March. So not really big into Voivod, but I like Prong a lot. Anyway, yep. Distorted vocals. You don't really hear Jason's real voice until the very last line. It's decent. Decent opener. Cure the same. Nice bass run here at the beginning. This sounds like Nirvana, but it's a very good song.
Hmm.
I like this a lot. I would like them. They're still out there touring. They can add this. The only thing is, I'm wondering, they're probably playing this in D or C sharp instead of E or E flat. And I don't, do they want to play that many songs? Just bring extra guitars and have them tune in a lower key.
Hmm.
Numb. Another good song. Good chorus. Sounds like Alice in Chains. More mid tempo. Is that what you thought too, John? You think
So
I'm way
far,
off?
we're pretty much batting 1,000 here. So
Okay. Okay.
for those at the end of this show, or for at the end of this, at John's thing, you won't have to hear me because he will have.
Oh my gosh. All
No,
right.
no, no. I'm just kidding.
Nah, yeah. Because I'm not going to go deep into the lyrics too much.
No.
These lyrics are very grunge like. They're talking about sorrow and depression a lot. I like Take Me Swiftly. It should be called Why Do I Care?
You think?
Yeah. I like this. It's repetitive, but it's really kinetic and it really gets you into it. This sounds like something that you would play on a tape before a show, before the headliner comes on. They play those cool songs to get the crowd into a show. You put this on here and it works. This is really cool. I'd love to see someone walk out to the ring to this.
Ooh.
Think about this, even in
Ooh.
wrestling. It would really work in wrestling.
Oh, yes, it would.
Because this is kind of like a cool song, like War Machine fit Taz back in ECW.
Yes.
This would work on this level.
I
I
think
like this
I
song a
think
lot.
I know the right genre of wrestling for this song. Deathmatch people.
Yep,
Game
exactly.
changer wrestling. If y'all are listening, There you go.
Yeah, this is Nick Cage. Is it Nick Cage or Nick Gage? I'm sorry.
Nick Gage.
Nick Cage, I'm sorry. Nick Cage is the actor. My bad. Heard it all. Now here they go shoegaze, dream
Hmm.
pop. Love this song.
Yeah.
Oh my God, nobody knows me like I know me. Nobody knows you like I know you. This is very good. First 5 songs I like a lot.
Hmm.
Next song is Transmission. You start out with that news report, then it's slow. This is good too. This has a little bit of a Stone Temple Pilot feel with the distorted vocals. Think of a song like Naked Sunday
Hmm.
off of Core, although
Hmm.
it doesn't rock that hard. But that vocal does remind you of that.
Sure.
Words on the Wall, near bludgeoning new metal. This is decent. Better to Die. This is probably the last song in the album I really like.
Okay.
And it's not because of the verses, it's because of the chorus I quoted before. It's
Hmm.
better to die on your feet than on your knees. That the way they set that up works very well.
Yeah.
I that chorus saves the song. It's very good.
Yeah.
And then I write in my notes, and now it drags. Down Inside, just mid-tempo grunge. It's kind of nondescript. From the occasional scream from Jason. New Anger should be called Steel Pipe, because they say those words in the chorus, and the way,
Hmm.
well, the venom that Jason sings it with, it's this reminds me of Marilyn Manson or Rob Zombie.
I could see that in the attitude. Yeah.
Yeah. Monster Man, except Russian Roulette, but I don't like this song as much as the Accept song.
Hmm.
More slow sludge a la Alice in Chains. It sounds like something to be on that self-titled album from 95. To Live to Lie, I like a little more. It's more mid-tempo. It's heavy, decent chorus. Um, Mom and Dad, I don't think it's a good closer at all. That it's
It's like a hidden
boring.
track, really.
It is.
I mean, that's how it really should have been treated. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you think with that Indian guitar at the beginning, it's going to go into something unique, but it's just
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's just silly.
It's not good at all. But as John alluded to, ooh, excuse me, uh, this is the era of the longer albums. This is by far their longest album. You could cut a few songs off here, it would work better. I'm going to give this another 6, like I did Pissed,
Okay.
but for different reasons. What I
Mhm.
like on here, I like more than what I liked on Pissed. But there's a lot of songs on here that drag that do not grab my attention at all. And on Pissed, I think most of it's pretty decent.
Mhm.
But here you got a lot of, but first half, pretty freaking good.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go 6. Produced very well.
Yeah.
Tom Fletcher did a good job here. DMZ Records. This is the Digipack. This just came out in November. We're taping this on December 23rd. You'll be watching it after Christmas.
That's right.
We got some bonus tracks on here that are not music, totally different musically. They're all covers. Let It Go, Def Leppard, they do a great version. Simple Man, Skinner, pretty good. They could do Southern rock. They always could. With Southern rock with bite. Tush, it's good. CC Top. Kickstart My Heart, Motley Crue. Why? I don't know. It's just because they're contemporaries. The same thing I feel about Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. I think the songs that they did that came out before they were a band, I think they do a good job with. I mean, very good musicians for this genre, as we've been saying the last 4 weeks here. But yeah, there is a lot to love on here, but there's cut off some of that fat at the end.
Yep.
I think this would have had a better, maybe it wouldn't have had a better fate, but I think critically it could have. It'd be easier on the listeners' ears. So
Hmm.
6. There you
Okay.
go.
All right.
Artist formerly known as Dangerous Toys.
There you go.
And can you tell us this song, the big hit off of Love Sexy for Prince here? You get a gold star, John.
Oh boy,
There was
was it
only one big hit on this album.
it wasn't Kiss, was it?
No, that was Parade. That was
Uh,
86.
Okay.
So this is two albums later.
I don't know my latter Prince. Every time I saw that Love Sexy album, it gave me nightmares. So
Yeah, it's Alphabet Street. Okay, which is
oh,
a
okay.
pretty cool tune. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so there you go.
Okay. Well, so for those who don't know, those bonus tracks on this digipack, they all come from like various, like after about 2000 or so, you started seeing all these crazy tribute albums coming out,
Right.
and everybody was paying tribute to Guns N' Roses or Iron Maiden, and they were just hodgepodging bands to get. It was like Frontier Records got the idea from these hodgepodges and decided to do these supergroup things. For
Mhm.
Frontier's records are known for all these crazy supergroups. Well, you had a lot of these tribute albums, and some of these you had a lot of the same backing people, but then you'd have all these different vocalists and guitar players coming in, and that's what some of those songs were. So yeah, interesting inclusions, but I think the labels kind of had something to do with that. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, so Share the Kill. This was to me a ferocious opener. You definitely tell that you are not teasing pleasing anymore. And you're not exactly the gunfighter looking for love. Now you're a gunfighter looking for, wanting to share the kill of the pie that you're going after. And and that, if you're going after this kind of whatever it is they're going for, hey, share the fortunes with the family. But very much embracing that 90s sound with the distorted vocals. But yeah, boy, I remember this was one, and maybe I was in the right attitude frame of mind in 95 and 96, because I remember this one. This was like one of my favorite tracks from the album. Cure the Sane. I agree completely with you. This sounded like this could have been on like In Utero from
Yeah,
Nirvana.
absolutely.
It just has that flavor. And you even get a little slide guitar solo thrown in there just to kind of change things up a little bit. But man, Cure the Sane. Let's see. Cure the Sane. They are all to blame. Cure the Sane. They all wish they could be as vain. I mean, here again, I mean, you're poking at people who just want to live their life as a normal thing. And sometimes you just can't cut it that way. You gotta put that insanity into life, I guess, I think is what they're trying to say here. But a very catchy song, and I love the feel of it all. It's just another fun little song. The Numb, a very like you said, a very reminiscent of Alice in Chains, slow stomper. A long outro. You get some nice little guitar flourishes here. Again, I think talking about how to numb yourself down from the depression and just the angsty feelings and just a lot of those kind of things. Again, you're right. That pervades on this album quite a lot. Um, Take Me Swifty, a song about wanting a Taylor Swift female. No, no, no. Take Me Swiftly. Excuse me. Sorry. I had to do that.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know what the riff reminds me a little bit of? It reminds me a little bit of Immigrant Song. Dun, 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 down, down, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun. It kind of has that, not
Yes.
exactly, but it feels a little like Immigrant Song. But it's like, and then Mark Geary's drum thing is maybe not quite Saint Anger level, but it's definitely a different drum sound.
Right. Agreed.
I always noticed
Oh
that
yeah.
about this song. But again, I could listen to Jason just spitting out "Why Do I Care" for eternity, because I just again I could feel that. I could feel that part of the song. there are other lyrics to the song. It's like, don't let them steal your mind. Don't let them take your soul. Don't use ropes. Don't use fire. Don't use bullets. Don't use sex. So, just take me swiftly. I guess if you're going to kill me, take me swiftly. I don't care what you do to me.
Right.
Um, just a very aggressive song. Heard it all. That with that acoustic driven 90s alternative feel, shoegaze. I never really thought of it like that, but dream pop, another great, you know, again, it's another one of these songs where it's like, what do you say to somebody who's hurting? You don't want to say the same
Right.
old rote rehearsal kind of stuff, and I think that's what this song's purveying. You know, you don't know me like I know me, and I don't know like you. Sometimes it's just better to let the person vent, and just listen and take their words in and don't try to combat with a bunch of empty words. Um, I know this is a really weird comparison, but in my, I have a Bible reading that I do every day, and right now I'm going through the book of Job, and Job had a lot got was getting a lot of empty words from his three buddies. I don't, I hate to tell you, but those three weren't exactly the not the kind of guys you want to be going to your therapy session for. Um, Transmission. Aliens, please take me away. Not a bad thing sometimes, with
Right.
the way this world's going. I got a very dreamy Beatles feel with this one. With almost like because his is like he's almost trying to deliver the vocal almost like a 60s John Lennon a little bit here. A very mellow John Lennon in a
Yeah.
way. That's kind of how I was hearing this. But yeah, the whole idea of just aliens, just please take us away. This world's going cuckoo, which yeah, it was a cuckoo in 95, ain't much better in 2023 going on 2024. Um,
True.
Words on the Wall, another aggressive rocker, and yay, there's a little guitar solo. Wow. All right.
They're
But
few
yeah,
and far between on here, folks.
yeah, I was hoping somebody would pick up on that. Yes, typical mid 90s stuff. Where's the guitar?
Right.
Where's the guitar solo?
Exactly.
There's not a lot of guitar solos here. Better to Die. I again another great mid-tempo alternative flavor song. Again, just uh, you know, again with the mind loves playing all these games. Again with the depression and you don't want to if you're gonna go out on your feet. Don't fall on your knees and suffer the fate that Abraham and Glenn did on Walking Dead.
Right.
They took the baseball bat to the head. But anyway, um, Down Inside to me has a stoner feel. Um, you know,
Yeah.
how deep are you willing to how deep are you willing to keep that pain inside you? And that's just really how deep that feels and that goes. Um, New Anger, heavy groove rocker. To me, just an angry song seeing through the shallowness of people, which they tend to. I know that comes through in some of their songs a lot, where they the whole shallowness of people. Um, Monster Man, a very slow plodding march of a songs. You feel like you're seeing a Texas cowboy as Godzilla kind of feel as in the
Mm.
lyrics is kind of what it really gets into. To Live the Lie, to me, this is the proper album closer. Um, but I think
Agree.
to me, this is like one of those songs where it's like, again, it's like this goes on about the people who got their 15 minutes of fame and they're just wanting to keep on going with it, and some
Yep.
some people don't need to live that lie past the 15 minutes because they're pretty much exposed by that point. And this song goes on a little longer. You have some nice little guitar flurries toward the end, and then you get this kind of scratchy thingy where you get this hit. Really should have been a hidden track in Mom and Dad.
Mm.
Really not much to say about it. To me, I could have left it off of it, and I think it would have been fine. To Live the Lie, I thought was the proper closer here. Um, So again, yeah, I'm the same way. There's a lot I love about it. There's a lot that I'm like I dig, but is not high on the list. So I'm probably only going to go about a 7. And I probably might even be nice and say 7.5 because of so much I
Okay.
do, because of what I have with the history of this album. But I think what I do like, I think I like a little more. So, and, uh, but a strong album. Would love to see them try to come back and do some new material. Jason and the boys, please. I would love it. I know you guys tour every now and then. You're going to be doing a couple shows with Armored Saint. Would love to see a more full-blown tour.
Oh yeah,
That
no
would really
doubt.
rock. Um, so, but yeah. So, John, I'm going to let you take it back. I don't know if they did any kind of real touring, maybe outside of Texas clubs, or if they did anything along that line. So,
Oh, and once again, you killed it on the lyrics, and that's the thing about. I'm personally, I'm glad that John's really going into the lyrics on this album because lyrically, this band was a cut above too, for the genres that they were in.
yes. And
I mean,
I will say one thing. One of the things I saw Jason talk about in one of the threads for a Dangerous Toys group on Facebook group, they felt like they were really maturing as songwriters on this album, which
I'll say that.
I certainly see that in the lyrics because they definitely got away from a lot of the sleaze rock of what they did in some of the stuff in the first couple of albums. But and I think musically, yeah, they wanted to stretch and do something a little different. It unfortunately just wasn't well received.
Right.
Critically, it seemed like they liked it. I think Martin gave this an 8 out of 10. So critically, I think it did okay, but the public just didn't get it. So anyway,
Right. And All Music gave this a 3 out of 5, where they gave Pissed a 2 out of 5.
hmm,
And if you read the review, it's quite positive. And I would agree with that. There is a maturation in the songwriting here, but especially this first half, especially they did a whopping 3 dates according to Setlist FM in 95 and 96 combined.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so if any of you out there have seen other shows besides the ones we're about to talk to, please put in the comments because I'm only going by Setlist FM. The Thirsty Whale in River Grove, Illinois, unknown venue in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and one show in 96, the West Park Entertainment Center in Houston, Texas. Songs performed live from this album during that time, and I put them on according to the order on the album. Share to Kill, Cure the Same, The Numb, Take Me Swiftly, Transmission, Words on the Wall, Better to Die, New Anger, Monster Man, and To Live the Life. Now, if you go to see them live these days, they are doing a few dates here and there. They don't hit this album at all. They primarily hit the first album. They do 7 or 8 songs from the self-titled debut. They'll usually hit about 3 songs from Hellacious Acres and 1 or 2 from Pest.
Mhm.
So, but this album, yeah, because it sank without a trace, um, I'll do anything live from this. But again, I mean, it's definitely an album that's worth investigating.
Sure.
I mean, because there are a lot of very good songs on here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a shame because this album just doesn't really have anything that would really mix in with the other albums.
Oh, that's
So,
true.
so I think everybody's going to know the first album the best,
Absolutely.
with Hellacious Acres the close second. So, yeah, so no surprise there that they're not touching this. Although it would be pretty I would be okay to see some of this to see if they could do a couple of them. That would be pretty cool. But
It'd be really
um,
cool. No doubt.
so, so now my next question is, how are you going to rank them? What order are you going to put them in?
Well,
I have a feeling this is going to be kind of easy.
the first two, this is obviously the best one.
hmm
A lot of people give this a 9 or a 10. I wouldn't argue that at all. I gave it an
Yep.
8.5 after I redid my ranking. And if you want to say this is 9 or 10, you want to say this is one of the best albums of 89, You won't get any argument from me. Hellacious Acres, this would be my number two. This is nearly as good. I gave this an 8. I think there's some really strong tracks on here. They still do Line 'em Up and Gimme No Lip and Sugar Leather and the Nail Live. And I mean, a lot of other good songs in here. I don't need to hear their version of Feel Like Making Love, but the original songs on here are quite good. Gunfighter, Best of Friends is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so that now number three, now this is where it gets harder for me, but I would probably go Pissed because it's leaner. And truthfully, since we talked about this album, some of these rhythms and hooks are growing in my head. I yes, I did say there were songs on here that sounded like kicks. But I mean, Hard Luck Champion is very good. Oh well, so what's a lot of fun. Promise to Moon is, yeah, I said it was kind of nondescript, but the lyric is great. Loser is catchy and fun. The Law is Mine. Yeah, there's a lot of good songs. It's leaner. I like nearly all this album. And the artist formerly known as Dangerous Toys, again, first half of this album, very good, very strong. The second half, not so much.
Right.
It needed some trimming. And the closer, no.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly my order. I mean, that is the exact same order. I mean, um, there's a lot that I love about every album. But it's pretty easy for me.
Yeah,
If I was going to reach for Dangerous Toys, I'm going to reach for the first two very quickly.
right.
Pissed is getting up there. And if I just need to get the angst out of me, then yeah, I go for the artist. But they're not all bad albums by any stretch of the
Oh
imagination.
no.
So I don't want to say that, oh, the artist is my least favorite. Well, it might be the one on the last on the list, but that doesn't mean I don't like it because I
Right.
do have a lot that I love about it. So there you go. All right, folks, Dangerous Toys December. This was a fun little chat on four pretty fun albums and albums that I personally had a lot of history with. And so it was just good to revisit this and I just wish I got to see them live, but I never did. But you beat me on you
That's
beat
where I
me
was
on that
lucky.
one. So
Yeah, I was lucky.
so
On
there
that
you
one I
go.
was. Yeah.
But all right, so there you go. Check out the Christmas Essential show that we mentioned already. If you haven't seen the other episodes on this thing, check them out. I'll probably try to make a playlist of this whole month of this. Um, do we let's just do it. Show them what we're going to be coming up with next time. That's right, folks. Judas Priest in 2024 is what we're going to be talking about, y'all. The next episode, we are going to be looking at the debut. We're going to talk some rock and roll. That's going to be a fun series. We got some ideas that we're going to have planned out that we're going to stretch out throughout that time period, and I
Yes.
think it's going to be a great series to talk about. As I also mentioned in the Christmas Essentials toward the end of this, for Blue Oyster Cult fans, y'all, if you still haven't picked this up at martinpopoff.com, I'm going to give him a plug. I don't know if he still even has any, but look for it. John here contributes to that book. Go on Amazon, look for this book, Down for the Count, on the band Y&T, for all the Y&T fans out there, by our good friend Tim Darling. John also contributes to that. So do yourselves a good favor and look for, if you love those bands, both worth checking out. Of course, I gotta plug my co-captain here anyway. So
Thank
that's
you.
always a good thing. Um, so there you go. Judas Priest 2024. 50 years of rock and roll, by the way. I believe that was when it originally came out, was 1974.
You're correct.
So there we go. So yeah, and then they got the new album coming out in March. So we'll tie all that in together at some point. But yes. So there you go. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. We will see you in 2024 when we take one for the road. And hopefully we'll leave you, well, never satisfied. That's not the right term I would go with this, but dying to meet you fans out there who have been following all these different bands and watching these shows. We thank you. We appreciate you. We look forward to 2024. Happy New Year. We will see you then.
Happy New Year.